Welcome to Monarchist Minute. I'm your host, William Stout, and we have a full panel tonight with Constantine, Leon, Clements, and our Chancellor, John Arness, back from an extended absence. But we are all here tonight for Monarchist Minute, episode 184, The Elephant in the Room, an update on the Epstein files and the controversy surrounding them. How is everyone this evening?
I'm alright. It's just been a crazy week at work. Our bigwigs were in at work, so naturally it was my boss is going kind of crazy about making sure everything's kosher and all that. Not literally kosher, but in the figurative sense, where it's like, oh, everything looks good up to code, whatever. Yeah, no. So I really had to not do the job the way I do it, but else. So that was really fun. It was been a fun week. I'm glad it's weekend though.
I'm hanging in though, I guess. Dealing with stuff.
Yeah, no kidding.
John, it's been a
I
while since you've been on the podcast. How are you?
yeah, I've been good. Been behind the scenes obviously, but never really last time I was on I had a setup. Now it's much less of a setup in the middle of school, so that kind of thing doesn't help. But I'm back pretty regularly because I have a little space to do the podcast on, and yeah, it's been a very very long while. I think it was during Biden's presidency, pre 24.
Well,
Yeah,
we're happy
no,
to have
definitely earlier in the presidency from what I remember.
we're happy to have you back though. And Clements, how are you this evening?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
That's good.
So now that
All
we've
right.
heard from everyone, I suppose we want to jump right in because we got a lot of ground to cover tonight and it's already late.
Yeah, frankly, it's an absurd ground to cover. But anyway, we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. You guys probably already know who he is, but for foreign audiences, whoever, for those who are living under a rock, I guess. Yeah, no, he's a New York financier, definitely known for pedophilia, sex trafficking, child prostitution, and quote unquote killing himself. We'll get into that later. I don't think he killed himself. Anyway, yeah, he owned a private island, also known as Epstein Island or Pedophile Island. Little St. James, or as he called it, Little St. Jeff, just the whole controversy's been going on for like a decade at this point. It's actually been kind of crazy because I remember being 15 years old in high school saying Epstein didn't kill himself. I mean, because he didn't, but.
Well, it seems to finally be coming to a head. The files are out.
Yeah, it should have come to a head during the Obama presidency. Because that's how early he's been doing this. He's been doing this for, I think his first conviction was in 2009, maybe? Hold on.
Also, from what I can tell, he's been doing this kind of stuff maybe into the 90s. Maybe into the 90s.
Yeah, he bought his first island, and he bought Little St. James in 1997 or 8. I don't remember. But yeah, no, his first conviction was in 2008. So not even the Obama presidency. He's been doing this since the Bush presidency. Bush too.
Yeah, as Massey said in the hearing. We'll get into the hearing, but with Pam Bondi, but he said that this is easily four administrations of these files staying behind closed doors. So
5 administrations if you count the Trump administration as 2 separate admins.
Yeah, and even before, because if he had an island, likely this stuff was going on since the 90s. So about 20 years of this stuff happening.
30. Well, 20 when he died, but the investigations themselves have been going on for 3 decades, and we're no closer to knowing the true depravity on what happened on that island than we were 30 years ago. It's stupid. We're talking about stuff that's been happening since before most of us were born. And it's ridiculous.
Nothing maybe something is happening, but we'll see. We're currently locked in a
Nothing-
nothing ever happens superposition right now.
Nothing happens until everybody involved in the files that people who are named there and people who are actually involved in stuff. That's two different animals. But like people
Yeah.
who are involved, like directly involved in it, should all be like rounded up and arrested. Like arrested is the minimum at this point. I don't care if you're president. I don't care if you run Microsoft or whatever big company is involved. Whatever. Like I do not care what person. You could be some random bloke off the street. If you were involved, you should be arrested. Okay.
Right.
Like I think it's a very common sense policy, but that's just me.
Yeah, just based off the small, like, heavily censored images that I've seen in some of the files, they need to be. I'm not one for public execution, but
Yeah,
making
no,
a
there are
strong case.
circumstances that warrant it.
No, we need to bring back public execution to put like the fear of the law back into people.
The elite should be
I'm
afraid
with
of the law.
Leon on this. I am 110%
Yeah, no.
with Leon on this.
Yeah, no, public execution shouldn't be a common thing. Should not be a common thing. This is an exception.
My policy on this goes just broadly, not just this, but especially this. Like, so many people commit crimes and stuff, and it's like serious crimes too. Like I am talking like serious stuff that puts people away for life and stuff. And like, if people really don't kill them, like, okay, I shouldn't say
Why
that.
waste the tax dollars to house them for however long they're in life in prison for? Just use a bullet. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Use a bullet. It's cheap.
I'll say
not
this,
that I'm pro life in the broadest sense here, but still, when it's a burden on the many for the few, it really is just for common sense to just put a bullet in their head and move on.
I would say that.
Yeah. I never understood this whole thing of being pro-life but against the death penalty. Like, I've heard some arguments for, but I feel like it's a huge stretch between being against abortion and killing the unborn child, which hasn't done anything wrong, and then killing someone for being a genuinely horrific human being.
I would say
no,
that
I'm trying to say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would say that this definitely warrants the kind of the early manifestations of a rare, a rare capital punishment. Like these types of crimes, obviously, they have pained and disrupted the public good and the sensibilities of the victims, not just victims, survivors. So definitely, it warrants it. I'm not for like rampant public execution or private execution, but this definitely crosses the line into the public good needs to be upheld.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree.
For, mass executions of like Soviet Russia, but like I guess to split this into two things. One, look back to like when the end of the golden age of piracy. How did like a lot of like how did the British and the Spanish like get a lot of the pirates just stop? They just executed some of them, put them like they hung them or they put them in like the giblets and allowed like the crows and nature to kill them, and it scared everyone shitless. It's like, oh my, I don't want that to happen to me. And slowly, the Caribbean started to not be this like pirate paradise. It became like just a place of law and order. And then, like, to go up like on what Will said, it's a very complex topic, not the topic of the night for tonight. But there's a difference between a child, like a baby who's not done anything, who isn't even fully formed yet into this world, versus a guy who decided, yeah, I'm gonna murder 10 guys and then I'm gonna murder 5 more before I get like stopped. There's obviously a difference there between the two.
I'm not saying there isn't a difference. I'm just trying to be morally consistent by saying maybe we shouldn't be killing people for that. But again, from a purely economic sense, life in prison doesn't make sense. You just put a bullet in their head if they're going to spend the rest of their life rotting away anyway. It's also arguably more ethical to do that.
Yeah,
from a purely ethics standpoint, it is.
Especially if they're too dangerous to keep around other prisoners, because if they can't be a general population, you have to keep them isolated. That's basically psychological torture anyway. Because
Yeah, no, if
the human mind is not meant to be isolated like that.
yeah, no, I would even say like because keeping them even in general population, it would still be a form of torture in a sense. Not to say that it isn't
Yeah.
deserved in the slightest, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
I would say even from the religious
if they do
context. Yeah.
if they do something that is so depraved, like even if it is merely the act of taking a life or something far worse, ethically speaking, that they would warrant a life in prison. No, you don't give them a life in prison. That's a burden on everybody else. You just put a bullet in their head.
Yeah, I would say that especially with death row, you actually find that more people on death row, and it's a common thing to like, oh, they don't have time, they'll repent in prison or life in prison, but usually people tend to repent on death row quicker than they would in life in prison. So, it kind of nullifies some things that hard line. I'm a Catholic, but the hard line position that no death penalty at all doesn't really have the sting that people say it does. I would say, like
Yeah,
with
no, I
this, especially, like let them repent right before they're executed. In my opinion,
yeah, no, give them whatever religious service they need, and then put a bullet in their head. Simple.
Last thing before we get into the actual topic, you guys know why we have life in prison and why that's like such a common thing, relatively common thing. It's because apparently it costs more money to put someone on death row because of all the media attention and all like the court filings.
that
Because
Yeah,
like actually, because
when
there's
you
a
could
higher
just
scrutiny to like putting someone to death than to just lock them away for life.
there are people that spend
hold on a
years
sec.
and years and
That
years on death row. So yeah,
also depends on the method of execution, because the lethal injection itself is super freaking expensive. So we literally created the problem ourselves by choosing to, well, for lack of better words, be wimps about it and have to create like a super sanitary method of
Yeah,
execution.
here's the thing. Your cost of keeping somebody on death row or life in prison is going to far exceed the 45 cents or so it takes to put around a 5.56 to the back of their skull. Like,
I would say
it's
even
just
like
from an economic
hanging,
sense.
just hang
From
them.
an
Or
economic sense. Well, yeah, no, then you only have to cost the rope, and then it's reusable too.
I was gonna say, or we hang them and the rope's reusable.
Yeah, I mean, we tend to in modernity overcomplicate these things. Like what is the point of putting somebody to sleep when you could basically, you know, execute them faster?
Because it's ethical to put them to sleep so they don't feel pain. Yeah, maybe they should
It's
feel pain.
funny.
That's a
It would
controversial
be an
opinion. They
instance.
should feel pain.
It with hanging, like unless something goes horribly wrong, like it's done in a certain way where it's instantaneous.
Well, yeah, the bullet. Yeah, no, yeah, that and the bullet to the head would do the same thing. There are rare cases
It's
that
just all
people have
optics. I feel
survived a
like
bullet.
you can't like really get out of it killing the person. Like
Yeah, no,
it's just this
no
idea
matter
that
how you make it look, no matter how you dress it up, a state execution is still a state execution.
yeah.
All right, let's get
But
move on
It's
anyways,
to
like
the
yeah,
putting
actual.
these
lipstick on a
would be
pig.
yep.
We've been dwelling
Okay.
on death penalty too long. Let's keep it moving.
Well, yeah, no,
Yep.
I think it's warranted though, but we can keep it moving.
Yeah.
Do we
So
want to talk about the private island first, or do we want to just move on entirely?
Well, I
I feel
mean,
like we'll talk more about the island when we go through the evidence. So I feel like we can move on to the
yeah.
next slide.
All right. Okay, so now we're just going to talk about Pizzagate because that is a very relevant thing here. Because believe it or not, it's not the first child sex scandal in the country's history. Even if this one is merely just a conspiracy theory, quote unquote, here. Like, it's not the first time something like this has happened.
And then it all ties together because the documents themselves have all of this in it. So, I
Yeah, no,
mean,
the
it's basically
slang
one
words are
huge
similar.
scandal.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if the two scandals were entirely connected, if not the outright same thing.
I'm pretty sure they are connected. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
Epstein
I would
had
believe it.
connections with these
I would
guys.
believe it, because if you think about it for a sec, the Clinton it was in the Clinton email leaks, the Hillary Clinton email leaks back in 2016. You know who Hillary is married to? Bill Clinton. You know who's in the files a lot? Bill Clinton. You know who we have photographed together with Bill Clinton? We have Donald Trump. I would not be shocked if it was literally just a two sides of the same coin type situation where they're doing the same thing and it doesn't matter. Like
It's a
they are
huge
the same
hydra.
thing.
Like it is
So-
a huge hydra that basically every major politician would like to cover up because it implicates their team.
It implicates them. Yeah, it implicates their team. This is why partisan politics is bullshit, fundamentally. Pardon my French. But no, oh, yeah, no, I'm willing to overlook you molesting a child because you have an R next to your name. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's ridiculous. Or you have a D next to your name. Whatever. We're equal rights, equal fights here.
So Epstein is related to this, or like how they've found out is that he was related. Is that he knows more people connected to this than just Clinton through.
Well, yeah,
Clinton.
John Podesta, a few others.
Podesta and the guy, the owner of this place. I can't remember his name. I can't pronounce
His name
but,
is James Alfantis. He owns the pizza joint at the center of the scandal. And speaking of the pizza.
And then they use like the same symbols in the Cold War.
Yes, I actually brought that here. We have similar
there's a huge list.
I unfortunately did not bring context for these, but if memory serves, this is a symbol that male to male pedophiles used to like denote each other, and then this is the symbol that Comet used to have, as far as I'm aware. Granted, this was 10 years ago. I was still a child at the time.
Yeah,
I was right. I was right in the president's age.
The symbol of the pizza place, it was the same symbol as the pedophile symbol for like the ones who like little boys. And then after this was leaked,
they changed their logo to the one
they
here.
changed it immediately.
Yeah, no, because well, here's the thing. I can understand the optics of changing it immediately because it's a damned if you do, a damned if you don't situation. Not to defend them, of course.
Oh yeah,
but
it makes
like,
sense.
if you don't change your logo, if you do not change that logo, you will forever be associated with touching boys. But if you do change your logo, it also makes you look suspicious because you changed it so suddenly. So it really is a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. I'm not going to deny it's very suspicious.
Like the pizza shop owner on his Instagram had some very suspect pictures.
Yeah, I actually did make sure I brought those. # chicken lover, which, sounds, fairly, normal, like whatever, you like fried chicken, but that's not what that means in this contest. There's a young child there. Chicken lover is a slang word, or an adult male gay person who is sexually attracted to underage males, somewhat derogatory. I mean, I would sure hope it's derogatory. Regardless, and then there's a comment on this one in the top left. If you can like the pizza party, seems like a wholesome meme. Then somebody in the comments says, "Whip up a Haitian special with extra cheese."
Oh boy.
I don't even know. I can't even justify that one. I can't even say, oh, that makes sense. Whatever, Haitian pizza. There's nothing going on.
What, Constance? You gotta. No offense. I don't mean be that guy, but you gotta let other, listen to other people talk. It's okay. I get it. There's a lot of stuff going on, but and again, I'm not trying to be an ass or anything.
No, I got you.
I remember some of the emails of them, like Epstein. This is another connection on Epstein. Is that a lot of Epstein's emails to and from him mention pizza constantly?
Yeah,
it's just talking about pizza. Like, oh, we're gonna go get pizza. Do you want pizza and stuff? And it's so. I remember this one that sounded so bizarre. And it said, "Hey, we only have one slice of pizza left. Hey, we're gonna split it. Do you want, but we're not gonna split it like between so many of us. Only a few of us are gonna split this one slice of pizza." And it's like, why the hell would you email someone about someone who could be hundreds of miles away about sharing one slice of pizza with them? Who does that?
Yeah,
I don't care how good.
I ain't sharing that slice of pizza with nobody, man. Like if there's a pizza box, I'm not sharing, bro. That's mine.
That just made me.
If it was, of course, actually about pizza.
That just made me think
there
of
are
all
some
stuff
that
in the
seem to be
document
about
referring to
pizza, but it's still suspect as heck.
It really is
That-
dependent on context.
That just made me think of all the stuff in the files referring to jerky when they're clearly not actually talking about jerky.
That too, the joke
I've
stuff.
I've
too.
seen theories that could mean some
Listen,
it could mean
let's not be.
cannibalism. It could mean cannibalism, guys.
Yeah, no. I mean, let's
Yeah,
get this
this
out.
one
The
I wouldn't
files
doubt
first
it.
and stuff.
Let me see.
Jo-
I'm
they-
going to
they
the
think
files right
jerky means-
now.
They think jerky means cannibalism, and cheese pizza means children, or I think like underage boys. It's one of
Yeah,
those.
no,
It's pedophilia.
You know,
regardless.
I think that if you know that terminology, it makes you suspect. Besides, like, you know, the obvious pizza stuff. Like I'm not gonna know what slang word you use to refer to little girls. Okay, like, listen.
The 4chan thing, because the abbreviation for cheese pizza is CP, used interchangeably with child porn. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on 4chan. This was leaked by like another pedophile group. I was like, yeah, they stole our code words and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's how we found this out.
Yeah, I mean, now some of the files like mention actual pizza places, so it might be kind of a convenient double meaning.
well,
Let's see.
if I recall the original Pizzagate scandal, the whole thing was that the pizza parlor was an actual pizza parlor, but that specific pizza parlor was a front for child trafficking.
Yep.
Yes, that was the established theory. Speaking of the pizza parlor itself, there was a shooting at the pizza parlor a few months after the whole scandal broke, committed by a person named Edgar Welch. I spelled his name wrong here. It's supposed to be Welch, not SH. My bad. But no, the interesting thing is during the shooting, nobody was shot. You know, nobody got hurt. But there was a hard drive that was destroyed in the shooting.
How do you like destroy a hard drive with I mean,
yeah, no. This is no, like, he took it out of the computer and shot it, from what I'm aware of.
Huh.
Like, you don't, like, I put together my computer. It is a pain in the ass to get a hard drive out of a computer, especially like if it's not an external one. No, pain. Okay. So the interesting thing about the shooter is that his father, Harry Welsh Jr., was a film guy. Okay, he was a film guy. You know, he was one of 15 cameramen to get into the NORAD base at Cheyenne Mountain in the 80s under the Reagan administration. He was also known for participating in various drug ops, you know, in the war on drugs back around the same time too. So, you know, you have your father with federal connections and presumably connections to some of the higher political offices in the country. And then his son decides to go crazy and go shoot up a pizza joint. And doesn't kill anybody, doesn't even shoot at anybody, but destroys the hard drive. That that might be
like
that
a
is a
Hydra
hell of a
or
coincidence.
like a
That is
Hydra.
a hell of a
Like
coincidence.
everything is. Yeah, I mean, because I'm seeing a lot in the files themselves about pizza joints and like, I don't know, like I think the first one that I found was like a More's or a Moore's Pizza or something like that. So it's definitely suspect, and it's everywhere. It's in It's in like directors, actors, politicians with the Pizzagate stuff. It's all.
If this is a coincidence, it would have to be the most insane, convoluted series of events for none of this to be related. That would be like you could tell me the sky is red, and I would believe that more than this being a coincidence.
Yeah, I don't know the odds exactly, but those are pretty astronomical.
Infinitesimally small. There's no way. It's like each individual domino in a chain falling at the same time with no contact from one another. It's not likely, if at all possible.
Yep. And
Sorry, I keep interrupting you guys. I get really fired up over this.
I mean, you're justified. I mean, I saw even some of the heavily censored stuff from these files, and it made me want to do something.
Yeah, no. Do something is mild.
Evil. Yeah.
See,
So
Okay,
yeah, I
now
get
that
it.
anybody else have
for
anything to
my
comment on
sanity,
Pizzagate?
for the sake of my sanity, I haven't read it. I just looked up like all the people who are relevant to me, like Jim Jordan. I just checked everyone who is in my representatives or constituency, and nothing else. That's
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. The only people I think my representative was in there, but not because he went to the island, but because he was just mentioned in some articles involving the House Committee on like Communist China or something. Like it was very minor things. Like he didn't seem to be actually involved in the
I
slightest.
mean, my rep is Jim Jordan, who's like the most senior person in the House in the Republican Party. So
Thought that was Mitch McConnell.
bound to be
Well, he's in
there.
the Senate.
Oh,
yeah.
Mitch McConnell is in the
My
Senate. Yeah, no, it tells you how far out of the loop I am.
my house rep is Mike Johnson. Funny enough, he's only. I think he's only. I think he's too new to be
Wasn't he
in
the
them
libertarian?
for any. Huh?
Wasn't he the libertarian? Was that Pete Johnson? I don't remember.
I have no
The
idea.
libertarian guy from like
The
New
house.
Mexico.
I don't know. I would say he's not in there, but honestly, at this point, I've just come to assume that uh, unless proven otherwise, like figures like Massey and maybe other people, like unless proven otherwise, they are related in some way, at least to help cover this up.
Sorry, it was Gary Johnson. That was the person I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, like you cannot convince me that these people didn't at least have some idea of what's going on.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, it
but that's a lot harder to prove than say, oh, Bill Gates was on that island. Oh, Stephen Hawking was on that island. Whatever. We have that. They've been mentioned a lot. Noam Chomsky, 4,000 times. Ridiculous.
yep. It's really kind of frightening to think that Bill Gates, the main guy pushing basically everything, like the huge person investing in the future, is heavily implicated uh, in these sets of documents.
And that's horrifying. You want to think about it like that. That is a horrifying concept. This should scare you. Anywho, I'm gonna move on.
People
We've
should be
talked.
scared and mad.
Yeah, no, you're allowed to feel multiple things. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. We're gonna talk about the files themselves now. And I didn't say much in terms of this. I just said it was depravity in its purest human form. And I want to, as somebody that I respect once said, they can understand why Sodom and Gomorrah was done. And anywho, a specific note that I wanted to mention because I found it on my Instagram feed, and then I checked it and found out it was true on the file website. But it was an exchange from Jeffrey Epstein to a redacted subject that said blank felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her and he helped to save her life. Whoops.
Oh man!
That's not
It
the
really
worst of
is
it.
gut it
Did
it's
you
gut
see
wrenching.
the second email to that? The reply?
You should dress it. Yeah, no. They dressed her up as Jesus
Oh my God.
Christ and then raped and murdered her.
I thought he
That's
dressed up
the
as
allegation
Jesus
here.
Christ.
No, they dressed the girl up, which is worse.
Oh man!
Oh no, no, I did read that wrong. He dressed up as him. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, I thought
That,
so.
Yeah, no, I read that wrong. My bad.
Well, we've unfortunately
Anyway,
lost Clement.
yeah, no, there was another file that trying to figure out the email. There was another email apparently that said babies taste like cream cheese.
oh my God!
Not sure the veracity on that one. Not sure if it's true or not. I did not have time to look into that. But I think it's better for my sanity if I don't. But if you think about it, yeah, no, it tasted like cream cheese because they were eating intestines, which probably contained digested milk formula. And that's
Oh,
abhorrent, and that's why these people should be arrested. if not
I
outright.
think at this point it's a little bit more than arrested.
Yeah,
But
no. If that, yeah, no.
I
I'm
mean,
Leon, do you have
normally.
something you wanted to say? Leon?
Oh, I just a moment ago that we lost Clements
yeah,
on the feed. That was all.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this kind of reminds me now of that scene. Remember, like when in Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith, when Anakin runs into Mace Windu and Palpatine fighting each other, and Mace Windu says, Palpatine controls the courts. He controls the Senate. He controls everything. We can't put him on trial. He's just rigging it for
Dangerous to
himself.
be
we'll get into
alive.
Bond. We'll get into Bondi. Honestly,
Oh
that's
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
what
no,
Bondi-
that is a very valid feeling.
I
And
just never thought about
I,
that scene until just now.
yeah, no, it's just, yeah, he does. The government controls the courts. Everything is fundamentally set up against these people being found guilty, and
Yeah, I mean,
it's
unless
despair,
arrests
frankly.
start immediately, which like they had the chance to this like Massey said, this is bigger than Watergate. This is like
Watergate
It's
was
been bigger than
nothing.
Watergate for 20 years. It's like
yeah,
it's been 20 years in the making. Watergate was, one dumb thing in the middle of the night on some
yeah.
summer night in 1972.
Hell, on it,
That,
you could
it was
argue
set
this.
up, sure. It is the biggest scandal in American history.
You can
Will say that
this
right now.
is like this is more than Watergate. This builds on Watergate because the whole argument there was that Nixon's spying on the Democrats. He's trying to sabotage the election campaign. And what's happening now? What's happening now is that Democrats and Republicans are accusing the administration of spying on all of them whenever they're trying to look into any of this stuff. So this
Yeah,
is
and
much more
that's
than Watergate, just on its by its own merits or
Mhm.
compatibility.
Yeah, I would say this is like late Roman Empire levels of depravity and corruption.
Oh,
Like,
this is worse than that.
like this is next like this is like the type of corruption that you would see in a young adult novel. Okay, like this is at absurd levels of political corruption. This is like
God.
this is something a crappy writer would put into their story for shock value.
This
Yeah,
is
here we are
God
living it.
Smite us now levels of messed up.
Yeah, no, as put on the slide that is so conveniently on the screen. And I think which one of you said that? It was like as a child I didn't understand why God did what he did to Sodom and Gomorrah, but now as an adult I think they didn't go far enough. It was something to that
that's like
effect. I'm not sure
everywhere.
if it was
I don't know who specifically said that, but I do know that it's all over. I think everybody's
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
that in
no.
some way.
I think
Yeah,
Will said
no.
that.
It was me because I made the comments. Like I keep seeing posts about people who said, the Epstein files is all the atheists waking up and realizing why God did what he did to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, no. I genuinely do not think he went far enough.
There was one.
He's
Yeah,
omniscient. God is omniscient. He
there
as a
was
species knew this.
yeah. There was one comment that I saw like, just do the thing again, and I'm like, no, maybe not that far, but this is on the levels of at least Sodom and Gomorrah.
Like
Sodom and
you guys do realize that was Sodom and Gomorrah in this situation, right? Like this
yes,
isn't
yes,
like
I'm
Yeah.
fully aware.
God should have punished them. No, like this is like Wall saying God needs to punish all of us.
Yeah, we deserve it as a species. We deserve it. I hate to be that guy, but fundamentally, as a country, we deserve it.
I would
Like,
For
say
okay,
letting
that
this
one
the
thing
go
to
on
say
last,
as a
any longer
country,
than it
but
has.
like to say it's one thing to say a country as a country, but to say all of us as like the human race entirely, like I don't know, I'm very hesitant to damn like the 8 billion people living on the planet right now.
I would say
Okay, yeah,
that the
maybe
only
I
thing
should narrow
saving
it down
us,
a little bit.
I would say that the only thing saving us is old ladies, old like faithful ladies at church who are
Oh yeah,
praying
no, that's our
for the
last
world.
line of defense, dude.
That's the only thing that is keeping our world from ending, I would say.
God bless Grandma for protecting the human species from extinction.
Yeah, this is like, and it like I would say it goes back to like French Revolution, like this kind of like open depravity, and now it's kind of in everything, like everything,
You
and
could
it's
even make the argument
normalized.
it goes back to the Marquis de Sade, but I would prefer we don't
Yeah,
talk about
No,
the
that's
Marquis
what
de
he's
Sade.
saying because the
I
Marquis de
think, yeah,
Sade,
no, I
they
thought
were
that's what he was saying, but
this
yeah, it's the same
is
time period.
yeah, this thing is definitely why many young men and young people in general are like, maybe this was a huge mistake. But
I
I
can
mean, we're on the
completely
topic of
understand why. I can completely understand why the left won't fight for this country. I can get it now. I get it.
but
Not
yeah,
saying that it's right. I'm saying I understand.
yeah. Well, we are. I think we're going off on a little tangent, which it's agreeable, it's understandable with this subject matter. But yeah,
Yeah, no, that's like this episode's basically nothing but tangents because there's so much ground to cover that everything is somehow relevant.
yeah,
And that's a crying shame is that, we actually don't get in trouble for once for going on tangents.
but yeah, we can probably get into the government response or government quote unquote response.
I would take a response, and that's probably what I should have put
Yeah,
on the slideshow, but that's not what I did. Yeah, no, Pam Bondi says, oh, if we prosecute everyone named in the Epstein files, the system will collapse.
like have y'all seen that
I'm not
her
sure.
standing trial, like her on her answering questions from the, I don't know what committee it was, but on Epstein, it was
You
like
mean the other day?
constant. Yeah, constant whataboutism, constant like deflection, obfuscation, all of this stuff.
Am I?
It's going crazy. Like she was losing her mind up there.
I don't.
I mean, I can't blame her.
Yeah,
Not
what
saying
I don't
it's
know
else?
if
right.
I'm
I'm
allowed
And
to say
saying I
this. I'm
understand.
just gonna say it. But like Pan Bomdi is a dumb bitch, and Trump is a dumbass for picking her as like
Yeah, no,
as one of his ministers.
no.
Like I'm sorry, but it's people like this that makes people like not want women in government. It's people like
Yeah, no. When she said the system will collapse, I want to say with my most brutality that she meant the legal system would collapse because if we prosecute everybody named in the Epstein files, like everybody that's just named, like my representative, for example, they just have mentions in there. If they prosecute everybody, that's like 95% of the government going in there. What we need to do is prosecute everybody who's directly involved. And I
yeah,
don't think, and by prosecute, I mean we have the evidence. Just throw them in jail and don't let them come out.
heck, I don't even think that's
Don't
gonna
let them come
happen.
out
Which
alive.
because
Oh
John.
no, I can
like
tell you right now,
immediately
it's not going to happen.
like when she was asked about it, she was like, "Oh well, what about the economy?" And I'm like, "What does that have to do
I
with
don't care about the
anything?"
economy. Let the economy
Like
go. If the economy is run by people who are actively ruining children's lives on that island, it shouldn't like
and it
I'm
was just
normally
a
very pro status quo,
she was talking
but
about the Dow Jones. She was talking about like the
I don't
Dow
care if
Jones
the
was
Dow
over
Jones hit
five.
50K, woman. I don't care if the Dow Jones hit 50K.
I
We're going through the
Like,
biggest political scandal in the country.
I
and they
think
were
John,
talking
let John
about
finish.
because
Let John finish.
I
one
think
of the
what I
leaked
said.
emails. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
One of the leaked
I think
emails
what I said
was
on the. I think what
guys,
I
come
said
on.
on
You
the
guys
protest.
gotta
Get
stop
it
getting
together.
off.
Get it together.
All right,
okay.
going
So,
first.
John,
all
go.
right.
Then Will.
Okay. So, like the leaked emails, they redacted the people. Like they had the client or the victim list, and they did not redact the victim names that were supposed to be anonymous. So they did not redact that, and people found out who they were and all of that. And they redacted the person sending the email. Like it is like it is insane the
It's
level
I'm
Who are
of
they
somewhere
trying to
between
protect?
how you
incompetent and malicious.
Oh no, I wouldn't
Like,
even say
it
it's
is-
incompetence. It's competent maliciousness,
Like,
which is worse.
it is unbelievable, and she just doesn't answer to it. She just kind of obfuscates. It's like, oh well, what were you doing, Thomas Massey? She's like mentioned some act that he voted against, or something like, and okay, like, again, what does that have to do with anything? Yeah, it
Dare I
is.
say that Massey is probably the sole good representative in Congress at this
No,
point?
Yeah.
you know what? It's two of them. I'm not that I like him as much as Massey, but Thomas Massey and that
Rokana? Rokana, also like
Thank you.
Rokana.
These are the only two guys who are pushing this stuff so adamantly. You know, if I had the power, I would make both of them senators for life solely for what they've done with this.
If I remember correctly, Rokana also went against Roblox when that scandal broke too.
Yeah.
And you know
I'm
who's
not
listed in the
sure.
Epstein list? The
Who?
Bazooki or whatever his name is at Roblox.
Yeah, those Roblox people.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah, no.
It's another.
So
another
yeah,
name.
no. That's also. Yeah, no, and it's just like I think Rokana was the one that initially brought inquiries against Roblox too, which, you know, geez, it's like we can't go a bloody month without a child sex scandal in this country. What the hell is wrong with this place?
I think when Pam Bondi said that if we prosecuted everyone on the list, it would like the system. I think my exact words on the MOA Twitter were, the quote, Emmanuel can't. If the truth kills them, let them die.
True, completely real.
I cannot believe
Yeah,
that.
no, if
because Jasmine
the truth
Crockett,
is going, oh, sorry.
Sorry, it's all right. Jasmine Crockett was saying, I agree with Thomas Massey. I'm like, I cannot believe I'm agreeing with Jasmine Crockett, but
Yeah,
this is
it's crazy.
insane.
I
Yeah.
think, you know, honestly, it's a great show of bipartisan unity and just blaming the DOJ for this. It's honestly a great thing that I love to see, is that everybody can actually come together for once to just bash on the DOJ for their liberal use of blacking in terms of this.
You know what? This is
That's like the only thing liberal about this.
This is one of the only things I would give Congress, is that like they need more power to actually hold people responsible when they do these quote unquote hearings, because these are just like show trials and stuff, but they don't have the actual power to punish, and therefore everyone who you know, if you're like some sort of activist or like a company executive or one of the federal ministers, you can bullshit your way through it.
Yeah.
And have any
Like,
actual
yeah.
consequences. Congress needs the
absolutely.
power. This is one of the few powers Congress needs to actually have in order to do anything. It needs to hold
Well, yeah,
people,
like,
punish people. I'll just go on.
yeah. Like there's a term in court called non-responsive, like a non-responsive witness. It is insane. Like, this stuff should be like at least the equivalent of being in contempt of court in some way.
Is
Like,
that
this kind of
the
stuff's
Fifth
ridiculous.
Amendment, where you just invoke your Fifth Amendment to not answer
Well,
any
she didn't even
questions?
invoke the Fifth Amendment. She just did not answer anything. Like, she didn't even invoke the Fifth
I
Amendment.
see. It's a different issue.
What about?
Because
Fun fact: Jeffrey Epstein, during his during his like interviews for like the DOJ and stuff, yeah, he invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 500 individual times.
Oh yeah, and his accomplice recently, when she gave her like testament to Congress or whatever it was.
Fifth Amendment.
But like, so like you have to understand here is that like these congressional hearings are not. Congress just made them up at some point in history in order to try and have some kind of more influence and stuff. This isn't in like the Constitution, and because of the separation of powers, Congress doesn't have the right to try people like the courts do. So that again, this is all like kind of gray zone, and it's like kind of murky.
Especially with Congress, they just make stuff up. I feel like for the most, like sometimes they just make stuff up. It feels a lot like the Parliament, like the UK Parliament, where they just kind of go with and do whatever.
Okay.
The only safeguard we have is the Constitution itself.
So like, okay, I'll kind of like. All three branches of the government have made stuff up to like, augment the power. All of them constantly. The president, the Congress, the courts. All three of them have done. And honestly, at this point, I'm at this point now, it's like this idea, this like mythology, worship of the dollars kind of needs to go away because there's things
Yeah.
that you need to be able to like share or have. Like, Congress is not strictly we make the laws and nothing else. The courts are not we strictly interpret what the laws mean, whatever. No, I mean, there is some overlap, and obviously we don't want Congress, our group specifically doesn't want Congress to become all powerful like the British Parliament or what have you. But like, there needs to be there needs to be more realism, and we gotta stop like worshiping these like principles from the Constitution.
Yeah, I mean,
Again,
yeah,
separation of powers is like way too like rigid in our worship of it, and we ignore the realities.
yeah, definitely, like, separation of powers is definitely. I mean, most governmental things are just completely made up. Like, it's all like it. I don't want to say propaganda, but in the simplest form, it is like with how high a pedestal we put the Constitution. I believe it's a pretty good document, but definitely it's not the Bible. It's not divinely inspired in any sort of way. It's just a
I
document.
would go
And
so far to say as it's idolatry, frankly.
yeah, actually, that would be a good thing to put, like,
Like,
democracy.
not that the Constitution is a bad document. In fact, I think it's a very good document for protecting
Yeah.
the rights of the people and all that. But the way some people in this country treat it is like worshiping at the foot of Mount Sinai here.
Yeah, I've long considered, like, democracy in its current form, at least, as kind of an opiate of sorts for the masses. Ironically, to a good
That's
turn
a
of
funny
phrase
term.
for Marx, because it just keeps every single person inside the system completely placated and completely docile.
Yay, my
Because,
vote
like,
matters. Not in a country of
nothing's
330
gonna
million people.
happen, and it's such a doom posting endeavor to think that anything will ever happen to these people. They will at most get impeached or resign, and then they'll get to go off, and ride off into the sunset.
Probably
For
flee to
most,
another country before they get arrested.
yeah, yep.
Like, the Constitution isn't. I'm not gonna say bad. It definitely was. It's definitely important. Definitely where it needed to be when it needed to be, and those things we've been able to build off of it. But like, it is at the end of the day fundamentally a piece of paper, and it stands in because the founding fathers, because of their own stubborn idealism, refused to actually have like a living I don't want to say living government. I think that's a stupid
Living
term.
document. It
But like,
wasn't.
no, not a living
It,
document, because again, paper cannot defend itself. It's paper. It's an inanimate object. But you know what
It's almost
you
like
guys know what I'm gonna
it's
go with the whole
almost like there needs to
monarchy,
be some kind of
imperial ideology thing.
some kind of living guardian of the government, something like that. I wonder what that would
Yeah.
oh
be.
yeah, yeah. I wonder how that would work, huh?
I'm not gonna
That's a very
pretend.
Yeah.
novel
We know
concept,
what it
John.
is. That-
Yeah,
we all
that's a
know.
very novel concept, John. I like that.
What channel are we again?
What was our group name?
We're gonna say the name we're gonna say the name like they do when they say the name of the movie in the
Yeah.
movie.
I guess we're just the Monarchists of America.
Yeah.
Might throw something
What are
funny
we?
in
Some
there
kind of
with that.
monarchist of America?
Oh yeah, that's why. That's why.
That's the line. That's bars. That's
Yeah.
bars.
I thought
Anyway,
this was going to be a serious podcast.
okay,
Let's get.
we had one break for levity. We had one
Yeah,
break
that's
for
good.
levity
That's true.
in the in the zone of human depravity that is this episode.
Hey,
If we
you
didn't
gotta
have
have
that
humor,
one
because if you
break of
don't, you're
levity,
gonna.
we would all be very, very miserable right
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
no,
you gotta have
if we
humor.
didn't have that one episode of depravity, that one episode of levity, I honestly would probably just be on my third beverage by now. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We talked enough about the government response. We basically said, "Yo, they've done functionally nothing. They've done functionally nothing about it. Like the Congress actually does something to LDR.
I would say the only time in which they do something is the point in which the midterm comes up and the Democrats use this and weaponize it. That's about the only thing we're getting.
Honestly, I think a blue wave for midterms would be kind of deserved, if not expected, from this.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
it's
that
a
it's a
bad thing in
great
my
thing.
opinion, but it's the
It's
only
definitely deserved.
time
It is definitely
the GOP needs
deserved.
to get hit in the teeth for this.
Yeah, no, I think both parties need to be hit in the teeth for this, but you and I both know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
At
no, that
least
actually leads perfectly into the...
Yeah, at least the Republican side of this Hydra is going to get attacked. But then again, you still have the Bill Clinton parts and that kind of thing.
And then with a Democrat majority in Congress, they'll probably release more of the files, at least.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, no. I mean, they'll try to release them. Anyway, that leads greatly into the ramifications of the files, because, midterms, it's probably going to be a blue wave because of the files, namely. I wouldn't be shocked if... I'll tell you right now, I'll probably vote blue even.
So,
I will probably vote blue for this.
I will abstain my
real quick
vote, I will
question.
say.
Will what?
The Clintons are still expected to testify, right? What do we think they're gonna spill?
Honestly,
I hope
they could
spill
go scorched earth.
no. If
God,
Bill
I
Clinton
hope
says
so.
I did it and then proceeds to dump everything on everybody else, he would still be a child molester. But he'd be one of the good ones, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I so hope the Clintons take the nuclear option and just drag everyone to hell with them.
I mean, they're both old. They have no prospects politically anymore. They're kind of on the outside of politics at this point. They could
the
probably
only member of that
easily go
family who
scorched
might
earth.
have any political well-being at this point is probably going to be Chelsea Clinton. And even then, that's a name I haven't heard in 10 years.
They'll do this, won't get punished for it, because all of the blame will be deflected onto the Republicans. The Republicans are going to get the fall big time during the midterms, maybe even an impeachment, maybe even a successful impeachment, given the...
You think? Yeah, no, that would be the first. That would be the first actual successful impeachment in the nation's history.
Yeah, honestly, deserved.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely deserved. It's gotten to the point where I would vote blue in this scenario. I'm not. I'm by no means liberal.
Blue. I'm not going to vote blue, but the Republicans need to earn my vote back. I mean, it doesn't matter
the public
anyway,
trust.
but...
The public trust in any institution of government, much less the GOP itself. Not an institution of government. No, public trust in the government is annihilated. After this, there's no hope.
I'm not gonna vote blue just for the sake of punishing the GOP for this, but you best believe I'm running whoever's on my ballot's name through the files.
Anything you got, American Solidarity, any third party you can think of, vote that way.
I'd vote Solidarity. Solidarity is all right.
That's if they choose to do
Solidarity is preferred, honestly.
I don't know if they're they'd be super active in the midterms, especially where I'm at locally, but
Yeah, no, I don't think they're active up here. I like them though. It got to the point where in 2024, I voted for Jimmy Carter. Okay. I voted.
One of the big problems is I think people need to get out of this this box where they feel like they can only pick Democrat or Republican in order to screw over the other. People need to be able to
you need to vote for policy, not by the letter of their name.
Parties. And I support all the third parties collectively just to give a middle finger to the establishment of the Democrats and the Republicans.
Yeah, no, I want to do them broken.
When it comes to the right, I want to say the independent right, but you know what I mean by that. Because you have solidarity, one, but then basically you got libertarian and you have actual neo-Nazi and stuff, and it's
you have libertarians, you have Greens, and then you have literally
the Greens are on the left, so I don't count.
I'm fine with
the Greens in this, but you do have the Greens. You have actual communists But like when it comes to like the right, and I would say broadly all most of us, not just the four of us here, but like the entire most of the like organization membership, will more right brain and stuff. And it's like we have to break like how the Republican Party controls like the American political right. Because what the thing is, the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans is that the Republicans have an ideology that they can attract everyone on the right to. The Democrats don't have that, and that's why you do see when it comes to like when you take the Democrats and Republicans out, and it's just the third parties. It's the left wing third parties that do so much more than the right wing. That's why you have actual like communists and the Green Party and what have you, and you have so little support for the right because all like the
Honestly,
people who could be on the independent right are attracted to the Republicans because they
because
they
everybody
have
in
like
the
an ideology.
Republicans is in some form of independent, right?
I would say that, like I said, like we've been trained over the course of this country's history to be docile, to be like, okay, pick your side and stay on that side. Like that's the
Oh yeah.
kind of
No,
thing
we
that
need people
everybody
voting
has
on
to do.
policy.
Yeah, that's
I don't
the big
care.
thing that Americans notoriously cannot do because of the political parties.
In all fairness, I voted for Jimmy Carter, like kind of as a joke, but like low key, I saw him as better than any other candidate, and he was in a wheelchair, basically half dead.
So okay,
Yeah.
I'll pose this question for you guys. Crazy question, especially considering all beliefs. But like, do you think what at this point with like this stagnation and like problems with the system, and at such like an advanced and at such an advanced technological level that we could attempt the Athenian direct democracy? Like, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be good,
No,
but like that we could attempt it.
we
It
could
sounds like a
attempt
Oh,
nightmare.
it, but my faith in the American people to be reliable enough to have that is nil.
Yeah.
zero, zero.
And the Athenian democracy was not like everybody votes. It was like you had to be like male, you had to be a landowner
No,
or
no,
something like
that's
that.
not
It
the
was
Okay,
point.
does
No,
really
no,
that
no.
crazy.
sound bad though? That doesn't
It's
sound bad though.
what to just have it be like the again like the top 2% of the country in charge.
Okay,
I think we got to
Again,
earn
I'll take
back
it.
our
again,
I'll
voting
take it.
privileges. We
again.
got to
I'm
earn
not
back our voting
I'm
privileges
aware
after
of
this.
like the history of like Athens. I get it. I know like it wasn't every single person, but the fact that it wasn't the fact that it was like everyone who got to vote, but it's the fact that policies were decided by not by like a few, but like it was put to like the mass crowd. Like we're just gonna vote on it, and we'll do it by
Yeah.
majority, not because we've elected one guy to make all the decisions for us. That's what I mean.
Yeah, honestly, I think that that can only work in a city. I think that even the founders really understood that. But honestly, I think until we can prove that we are a reliable population, I think our voting privileges need to be suspended until we know how to use them again. That's kind of
I have
jokingly, but you know.
I have
Oh, that's it.
been of the opinion for a long time that democracy only works on the municipal level. Because let's
Yeah.
be real, the direct area like your county or city, that's how you live the most. Like sure, having blanket laws from the federal government like saying, "Hey, don't kill people." Yeah, that's important, obviously. But what really impacts the common individual is more of a state level or county level policy decision. Like where I live, we are a blue state on paper, but we voted red in the previous presidential
We're a
election.
purple state.
So we are we are a very purple state. Like some of the policies here are all right. I love living here. It's great. Do I like government? No, but I like living here. But I can't say federal law affects me as much as state policy does.
So
And I can't recall the last time that federal policy has affected me more than state law.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
this.
yeah, that's the big thing. Go
I
ahead, Leon.
understand the sentiment from you. I
Oh,
understand the sentiment from you guys, and I don't hate it. But it's like if you theoretically, if you take away everyone's voting rights now, what you're
yeah.
doing is leaving the people in charge, in power, because no one has the legitimacy or ability to replace them.
Oh
So
no, it
like,
would
it's a chicken
I
or
effectively
mean,
just
egg
I,
be.
situation.
I
Like, I
wasn't
definitely agree.
being
People need.
really,
There's a lot
yeah,
of. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
I wasn't being serious in a like, I wasn't being literally serious. But yeah, overall, I do think like we've definitely screwed the pooch um, with our voting practices over the last about 200 years.
No,
Yeah, that's
I
that's a
get
phrase
that.
I've not heard before.
There's a
I
lot of
think
dumbass people. Go on,
I
Will.
think America needs our de Gaulle moment, kind of like how Charles de Gaulle couped the French government and restarted the republic. I think that's kind of what America would need. We need a little bit of time under a responsible but limited military government to kind of like just
Yeah.
get everything back on track.
De
Yes,
Gaulle
sir.
was the military dictator.
Long live General Secretary Mark Milley.
And then the guy that takes over just says, "I'm going to stay, and my family's going to continue leading."
Caesar. I would be okay with a Caesar at this point.
De Gaulle
Not
was
like
actually
the
the successful Caesar.
De Gaulle would have been he was like the French Cincinnatus, as it were.
Nah, I
That
don't
would
know.
have been
I wouldn't
funny if he
say
just pulls
that.
the Bonaparte.
Yeah, no,
He
I
should.
would have I would have respected De Gaulle more had he part. That's not to say that
No,
I
I
don't
agree with that.
respect the man, but yeah, no, I would have respected him more had he pulled a Bonaparte because it's
So
French history, it's French tradition at that point.
So I'm, again, we've already gone on so many tangents. I don't feel like I need to apologize at this point, but I will say, and this is an attack at De Gaulle. This is I don't know who this is. I'm not even trying to like attack to be like belligerent, but like the
French
fact is
communist.
that no, well maybe, well always attack the French communists. But like the thing with De Gaulle, and we don't know this is 100%, but there is like some evidence to say when he took over the French government actually twice, during World War II and in the 1959 when that
Yeah,
happened,
during the
is
war in
that
Algiers.
twice he offered like the Count of Paris, the Orleanist claimant to the French throne. Hey, do you want to come in and be like a constitutional monarch? You can make the people happy, and I can make the reforms. And twice the guy said, "Oh yeah, no, thank you, I pass." And then it basically killed the idea. And then the guy said, "Screw it, I'll just make like the Republican monarchy. Hopefully, like my vice president or whoever can like be a good successor to me, and I'll just go off and die from I don't remember how he died.
Whatever he died
from, yeah, and like I'm gonna say this is that he really should have like tried to like find someone else, if not himself, just someone else to take the crown. Like
Get
I
whoever,
hate this idea.
like Napoleon
Like
Napoleon or whoever the Spanish claimant was
whoever
or
else.
whatever.
Like I mean, like I hate like I don't know if it's like the French monarchists as a collective. Maybe it's I'm not sure who to blame, but I hate this idea that only these few certain bloodlines have the complete monopoly to ever be royals, to ever rule a country. It's like when your royals do something as dog shit as this, I think you lost every right to claim it. Because all you want is to profit from the fame and do none of the responsibility. Honestly, I think
Speaking of
all
that,
three French royal families are just like dog shit because of this bull.
Just get
speaking
a
of
German prince at that point.
yeah, speaking of outdated German or outdated like royal families who are doing bad stuff, let's look at those names.
Oh,
Good
oh,
transition.
we love the name list. We love the name list.
This isn't even all the names. This isn't even the
Yeah, no, this is all
unnamed
like the important ones I found, the ones I actually knew about.
names. By the
Yeah,
way,
no,
really quick,
shocker.
I
Go
I
ahead.
know this one only came up recently. This is not related to like I decided to throw it off. But like, do you have like the founder of Victoria's Secret on here?
I
Like,
don't
they're an
even know
old.
his name.
I don't know his name either. I don't remember his name. But like
Surprisingly
when I
enough, it
found
is a
out
dude.
it is what?
I think
It's a
that
dude.
might be
Oh yeah,
Wex
yeah, it's a guy. It's what?
Les Wexner.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Rexner.
Yeah,
that's
no,
him.
that
It's
was
Rexner.
Epstein was his protege.
Yeah, yeah. It's like people had always said stuff about him. I mean, there's that whole song, the Victoria's Secret song, where it's like being like used and exploited and stuff. Like feeling like body dysmorphia of dysmorphia or whatever it is. But it's
Dysmorphia.
like thank you. Like I guess like why none of us people should have been thinking about this sooner. Like the fact that this was confirmed by Thomas Massey just a couple of days ago was just like it was staring us in the face. But sorry, that's not the most important person on this list.
Oh,
I just want to point that
it
out.
was Roy Raymond, not Lex Wexner, who founded
Ah.
Victoria's Secret.
Les
That was my bad.
Wexner was
But
the guy who took Epstein under his wing, though.
yeah, and he's also
He
a
was
famous
on the list.
Ohioan. He's
He
also
is
a
on the
famous.
list. He's just not on this one.
I think the bigger question is who isn't on this list, bro. Everybody.
Well, my
It's like
representative isn't.
everybody.
Everybody and their mom apparently. We got Ehud, which was a former PM of Israel, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sky's blue, whatever. Robert Mugabe, who's not on the island, he was on the list because Epstein was giving him financial advice.
By the way, that's the former dictator of Zimbabwe, the one who took out
communist
Rhodesia.
dictator of Zimbabwe. No, the guy who literally was like, "Hey, let's just let's just take over all the very productive farms and do nothing with them." Love communism.
He's dead.
Putin.
No, he's been dead for years.
Yeah, I
How
thought
did
so.
Putin get on this?
Well, yeah, no, Putin and Sergei Lavrov are both on the list due to I think it was Epstein trying to get one of his Russian friends a visa or something.
Epstein wanted to get into bed with Putin, and Putin kept stonewalling him.
One good thing Putin has done in the last decade.
Anyway,
it's like that moment where like Joker and Red Skull gets together, and he finds out he's a Nazi. That kind of thing. Like he's a bad guy, but he's not that bad. He's a
we have
a monster.
We have Anthony Weiner. Very funny name given the circumstances.
It's no shock to me.
He was a New York. I want to say he was a New York City mayoral candidate or a gubernatorial candidate. I'm not sure which.
Like his own.
He was in a sex scandal for sexting children. Yeah,
and there's
the last name of Weiner,
so that's interesting.
Yeah, no. With the last name of a Weiner. When I was like maybe 10 years old and heard about the Weiner controversy on the news, I thought it was the funniest thing. Okay, like I had no idea what was going on. I just thought it was funny because the guy named Weiner is in a sex scandal. That's funny. Anyway, another name of note is Christopher Poole, who founded 4chan.
Interesting. Yeah, Peter.
So the Epstein.
The Epstein talk through some of these. No offense, sorry. It's just you keep jumping from name to name, and it's like I can hear John trying to talk about the Rothschilds.
If we talk about the Rothschilds, we're getting demonetized, bro.
We don't get money from this. We don't get money from YouTube.
Well, no, we're gonna get demonetized before we even get off the ground, buddy.
Yeah, Constantine needs to keep his his money gaining operations through this channel. That he alone acquires, that no one else.
Obviously. Anyway,
all 3 pennies.
Give me the quarters on the dollar, please. YouTube.
His yearly meal. The
yearly meal that I'll buy from somewhere. It's just McDonald's, and it's like a double cheeseburger, no fries, no drink, just the double cheeseburger.
Get a stick of gum.
Oh no, stick of gum. Anyway. We got names such as Christopher Poole, who is the founder of 4chan. The Epstein Maxwell dynamic really was just 4chaner boyfriend, Redditor girlfriend.
It is interesting to know that everybody posts stuff to 4chan as anonymous, and they're like these huge conspiracy theories. But given the fact that 4chan's been directly implicated in a lot of this stuff, how legitimate are the stuff that people have drudged up on 4chan from time to time?
I mean, they have been known to do things like that sometimes. Like, they've been known to do things like this. I think one time they got the Russians to bomb an ISIS base in Syria, something like that. That was like 10 years ago, though. But the real interesting thing about this is that Christopher Poole actually met with Jeffrey Epstein. And within hours of that meeting in 2011, I think, maybe, poll was opened. 2011 seems about right. And then, within hours of that meeting, poll was opened. If you don't know, that's the 4chan political discussion board. The stuff said on there makes Hitler look good.
Uh-oh.
Well, I wouldn't say looks good. No. I would say looks civilized or looks tame. Yeah, tame is the word we should use.
Tame. Yeah, tame's a better word for that.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder, these huge conspiracy theories that are, on YouTube channels, oh, look at this conspiracy theory through 4chan, and everybody's like, oh, it's just 4chan. But 4chan is like inside this mega structure that is Epstein or whoever Epstein was associated with. So it's just interesting to think about that kind of stuff.
Imagine being a 4chan poll user, getting radicalized site for years and years, only to find out it's Jeffrey Epstein's fault. Like, just
Yep.
imagine that for a second.
I think we need to kind of
hang
say
on a
sorry to a
second.
lot of
Hang
the
on a
conspiracy
second.
theorists.
What is it, Will?
The snake then ate its own tail because Jeffrey Epstein created Poll. Poll gets filled with conspiracy theorists that end up eventually unraveling Jeffrey Epstein.
The Ouroboros,
snake
yeah,
ate
yeah,
its
it was
own
an
tail.
Ouroboros. It was an Ouroboros, yeah.
It was an Ouroboros.
That's fascinating. I didn't even make that connection.
So, guys, if we give it more like 200 more years, modernity would be done for.
Yeah, no, we just need to
It'll
wait
eat
for
itself
feudalism, guys.
eventually.
We just need to wait for
It'll
feudalism.
eat itself eventually, guys. So give it some time.
I don't know if feudalism is what we want to go back to. I hate
No, I'm
hearing
joking.
that.
I'm
No,
obviously joking.
I know. I'm just saying this.
Yeah,
because,
no,
like,
I actually do
someone
advise
has to
people who
say
think
that.
that unironically.
Someone has to publicly say that,
D-
and I'll be the one to like make myself the model, then like throw myself off the cliff. Is that I hate hearing that shit from all circles. It's like, let's go back to feudalism, bro. You're not gonna be the feudal lord knight. You're gonna be the peasant
Leon,
working
obviously,
like
every
12-hour job.
one of us, since we're monarchists, believe in feudalism. Just accept it.
No,
you
no,
know?
obviously,
No.
guys, come on.
Yes, because
Yeah.
all monarchies ever were feudalists. Even today,
Yeah.
in like Britain and Saudi Arabia and Japan are all feudal monarchies. Obviously.
Yeah, the farmers' feudal kingdom of Britain. Yeah, you don't know that?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
obviously, under Lord
peasants paradise.
Premier Keir Stalin.
Yeah, exactly. God.
Keir Stalin. Yep.
Keir
Keir
Stalin, yeah.
I
It's
honestly,
like
I
the
think that's
reverse
more of an
Stalin,
insult
like
to
trying to get people
Stalin.
back on the farms.
You know,
Isn't that
honestly, I feel
now?
like Britain would be a better place if people actually worked there. Not gonna lie, if they had any farms to work.
Yeah, the brief respite, the brief comical respite from this monstrous topic.
We need
But
more
yeah.
farmers. I'll say it. Not that we
That is
need to go
true.
like full I guess Mao like farmer paradise anarchist or whatever the hell you want to describe it as, but like we just need more like domestic production, agriculturally, industrially, whatever I guess digital, it's whatever the word is for that. Like we just need more like domestic production. People
Mao
probably think this is crazy.
somehow, despite being dumber than my cousin who has been known to eat keyboards, managed to actually figure out that farming is, all right and good for society.
The
After he
problem
killed
with
like how many people?
Mao's idea, like his the point of the Great Leap Forward and trying to rapidly modernize China was a good idea. Mao's execution was just absolute dog shit.
Yeah, no. Backyard steel mills famously work, by the way.
Oh yeah, and shooting down all
I
the
still,
floors.
I still can't believe that was a real thing that he tried steel mill.
No, I mean, okay, I know I can believe it because how autistic some people are, like the niches on the internet. Like the guy's crazy because they see like dude building souls in the garage or something, and then they're like, "Oh my god, we can just all have like forges in our garage and like do that." Like I can believe it. Oh my god, I like my perception of so many like historical leaders and have been ruined because I can just imagine we just give them the internet and they just turn into like an absolute like
Oh yeah, no, Spurgloids.
They
absolute,
get
They turn into
on point, though.
Spurgloids.
it's so bad.
Those memes
Maybe
like
maybe
this
this
guy
is
would be
me.
a Republican, this guy would be Democrat, and this guy's like,
I'm
I'm quite
quite
fond
fond
of
of backyard
Cheetos
steel
with
mills.
chocolate.
I'm quite
very
fond of
old
bootlegging
steel.
alcohol.
No, wait, Forged in Fire. I'm very fond of Forged in Style.
Oh yeah, no,
It's
Forged in Fire is
Forged in
rad. I
Fire.
like Forged
Yes,
in Fire.
this will cut. They just binge watch that stuff.
Yeah, no, I have been from time to time. I will just sharpen the razor blade I use for work. It's just a, but yeah, no, it's got a little. It looks like a little switchblade. Looks like a little switchblade, and I will just flick it because it sounds cool every time I go to open a box. Mind you, I'm at work. It's like in public, and I'm just like swish. You know, it's not cool. Sometimes I'll do it just for
I
laughs.
get that.
So
Brief
Epstein,
levity over.
Yes,
yeah,
Epstein. Let's go.
Yeah,
back into
brief
the
levity
fray.
is over.
Who are we
Back
talking
into the
about now? I
fray.
know there's a lot of people.
List
So
of
there's-
names on the
and-
list.
What do we have to say about the princes and princesses implicated in this?
I'm actually not sure on the two princesses, but I think the former Prince Andrew should be shot.
I mean,
He knows
yeah,
what he
there's
did.
the
He should have been
historical
punished
precedent for
long
that.
ago.
He needs to
Yeah,
get
no,
put in
he
a
knows what he
monastery
did.
and stay there, or get put in
Put
a
him in
tower
the
and
Tower
stay
of
there.
London. Put him in the Tower of London. Yeah,
Yeah.
he knows what he did.
I was about to say, like, John, for a second it sounded like you wanted to give him like the Byzantine treatment, like he was a Byzantine usurper. Scoop out his eyes and throw him
He's
in a
got his eyes, put
monastery.
him in a monastery.
Take
Yeah,
his
Like, I
nose
was like,
off.
whoa, man.
honestly,
That's crazy.
honestly, low key
Take his
kind
nose
of
off and throw
deserved,
him in a
but like,
monastery.
yeah, no, then I'll just get a rhinoplasty, dude. Come on, with the gold nose and
yeah.
everything. Oh yeah,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I mean, a lot of them.
he might even get like a court dwarf,
Yeah.
like Tycho
This goes to show you how
Brahe or what that
prevalent.
astronomer's name was.
Yeah, how prevalent
What's up?
like modernity has been to even the royal families. They're not safe from this kind of stuff. Like, I guess it's like, if you want to call it capitalist or this globalist like industrial complex that has kind of enveloped every single facet of society, and it extends to these specific royals. And who knows if Charles obviously he would know about it, but how like, what is it, retreated the old idea of royals are from modern society is staggering.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they've been so like beaten up by like the new forces. Again, I don't know what term we should use for it, whether it's liberalism, capitalism, globalism, but whatever this force or forces are, I mean, it's completely like turned like not only neutered the monarchies, at least in Europe, that remain, but definitely them.
It is a spirit of the French Revolution. In my opinion, it's like something along the lines of the spirit of the French Revolution. This idea that even if the monarchies exist, they should be muzzled and kind of turned into puppets.
I wouldn't necessarily that's a legacy of the French Revolution, because like ultimately the French Revolution decided to just like do away with the monarchy entirely and not even like, try and use it in some extent. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I would go back most. Maybe this is maybe I'm stretching here, but like if you go back to like the Venetian Republic and the Dutch Republic, where it was just like everything can be utilized for the sake of making profit, and like and like nothing
Definitely
nothing
the
has
start
any
of
meaning outside of profit.
Yeah, the rise of what you would call modern capitalism outside of a spiritual end, like outside the context of religion, definitely does not help. And as you get
I wanna
further
say,
away from, oh, sorry.
Oh, it's like I was just like add like a small caveat to like that last sentence. Like I wouldn't say it's capitalism outside religion, because I don't think like the two are like inherently opposed, but it's definitely the idea that capitalism overtakes religion.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would say that
Like that,
after Europe got separated, I would say the Protestant Reformation like fractured the religious like foundations of Europe. Maybe good or bad, whatever you want to call it, but it definitely like fractured that unity it had. And then after that point, kind of like more Europeans were of the mindset like money's the ultimate end, and you start getting that in during those points in time. That's just my loose kind of. I'd have to do some deep uncovering of what this from. It's definitely something along those lines, because modernity, because you have socialism, you have capitalism, and these are two heads of the same coin that you would call modernity, that ultimately ends where we or ultimately gets us to where we are now, which is the and a lot of them are all from all over. Didn't you say there was a socialist dictator? There's Robert Mugabe. You have princes on here, movie directors. It's just everywhere in society.
Like,
So yeah.
okay, so if I have to give a theory, not that this isn't related to the Epstein. Sorry, I can't focus on this. I just can't. But give me a
Yeah.
second. Sorry, took a sip of my drink. But like maybe it's like at least what you were trying to get at here is like I'm gonna say it, I will blame the Protestant Revolution, and not necessarily that it is inherently Protestantism and or whatever, like its various forms or any particular form is inherently evil, but the fact that if the Protestant Revolution fractured like the religious kind of like the
A religious
ideology
monopoly.
of the West.
Yeah.
I guess monopoly is the word you can say with it. I don't know. I
Yeah.
maybe this is just my studying of like Eastern Orthodoxy and lately, where
Yeah.
like there's definitely been like great civilizations have like a one religion connected to them, whether it's like Hinduism in India, Islam in like the Arab Empire, or Zoroastrianism in like the Persian Empire before that, and then Orthodox Christianity in the Roman Empire. And it's like and like with Catholicism, it was like the ideology of like what you could say is like the modern, like what would become the modern West. Therefore, Western
Mm-hmm.
Europe, eventually the Americas. And I'm breaking with that. It's like maybe I'm cringe or whatever, but I'm not gonna say the Western stuff. The Roman Republic is Western civilization, in like the same sense. I don't put that belief. But
You
it's
don't want
like
to
when you
rebuild
had that
Rome? Oh
fracturing.
no.
I'm not saying I don't want to rebuild it. I'm saying there's not the same continuity.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows me knows I love Rome. Rome alone, Rome forever. But like the Protestant Revolution broke like the religious ideological foundation of the rest, and since then
Mm-hmm.
it's just been like breaking down, and that's why you see the rise of secularism, the rise in atheism, the rise in like any sort of religious movement, and definitely in my opinion is capitalism as like the practical form of the cult of materialism.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I mean
you said
I would use
ideology.
those two. Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Yeah, you could say it's interesting because you mentioned ideology, and it's interesting to think about like maybe we have it backwards. Ideology is the replacement of religion in the West in a certain way, and I
Oh,
think
it
that
definitely is.
might be
Agreed.
where we kind of like, 'cause, obviously capital ideology, something ideology, and they both kind of take precedent over whatever religion you might have. So it kind of, in a way, is ironically, Marx says, "Oh, this is the opiate of the masses," but in a way, ideology has been the opiate of the masses for the last, like maybe years.
I mean, I'm gonna say that so how I see it is like I'm kind of conflating religion and ideology as
Yeah,
like one and the same hill. For what
I
I'm
mean, it's
saying here,
basically a
like
belief system. I mean,
it is a
look,
belief. Yeah, it's a
I'm
belief system.
studying Soviet history, like Russian history, and what they did with the Soviet Union is they essentially made like socialism into like basically a religion. Like they made it into
Oh,
one.
100%,
Like
100%.
in many ways, they rejected reality to enforce their religion, like their Soviet religion. So
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
they
You're
really
very correct on
think that.
And
Yeah,
oh,
go
go
ahead.
on. What were you gonna say? Oh, I was just gonna say that like
No.
you can actually see like some like similar tones and how like the the Soviet Union kind of had like the relationship with the state religion, i.e., socialism or communism or Marxism Leninism, and its relationship with the Orthodox Church there. In the Arab Caliphate, you had like the state religion, Sunni
Mm-hmm.
Islam, and its relationship with like the Orthodox Christians there, like that
Yeah.
master and submissive. It's not a one for one, but it's definitely like it definitely rhymes. They say like history rhymes or it repeats.
Yeah. And I will say, tying back into Epstein, there are like, is Satanism mentioned in the files themselves? Because I've heard
Oh
that
yeah, yeah. They
before.
mentioned
Like,
like
there's
sacrificing babies to
yeah.
to like various like
So
old
like
pagan gods. Like we're talking like pre-Israelite pagan
Like
gods.
Baal and Moloch or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
definitely there
Like
is some kind of.
like a real schizo crap in there.
Yeah, it's interesting because we talk about how Christianity was kind of, in essence, the ideology, the grounding of the West, and now that it's kind of inverted with this New Age kind of understanding of ideology, that these groups of people like Epstein and whoever he works for, there's a lot of theories, but this inversion against Christianity, even specifically Catholicism, because there is some stuff about Catholicism in the files, from what I recall. So yeah,
I mean, I know it's getting late and stuff, so I'm not trying to drag this out too much. But like I'm pretty sure
yeah,
like one of the major leaks for all the Epstein stuff. I don't know if it's the first one, but it's like wait, sorry, give me. I need a second. Sorry, I was just gonna say like and Costa keep talking about this is that the Vatican was in on exposing Epstein. Yeah, give me a few
yeah. From
minutes.
what I've
Yeah,
heard, yeah,
no. As far as I'm aware, the story
like
that
apparently
Steve Bannon
they
and Jeffrey
they
Epstein.
hacked Steve Bannon. Oh my gosh! In these
Yeah,
files,
Steve
apparently,
Bannon and
like there was a movement to kind of subvert the Catholic Church. Like Steve Bannon was trying to subvert Christianity through this. And it's like it's ridiculous, man. The people like
yeah, no,
in everybody, he was this right guy, and he's going after religion.
yeah, no. The story goes is that Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein tried to hack into the Vatican, and it they got intercepted by Vatican cybersecurity, which I didn't even know was a thing.
They just get
They keep
hanged
all that
up
on
and hit
paper.
up with
And
hit
then,
up with a bunch of
in
Latin.
turn, they got counter hacked. And then the Vatican forwarded all that crap to the FBI.
That's insane. Imagine getting like a
Yeah,
response
no.
back in Latin, getting hacked, and then like the screen goes black and it's just a bunch of Latin.
Yeah, no, and it's
But
just the
yeah,
Lord's Prayer in Latin. Like, that's how you know you're cooked. That's how you know you're cooked.
Dominus, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, no. Cooked, bro.
That's insane. Because everybody used to, because that old picture of Epstein getting blessed by Pope John Paul II, or Saint Pope John Paul II, and they're like, look, he's in on it. And then it turns out that like there was a
Yeah, no.
literally
No. The Vatican has been
an
keeping an eye on
underground
him
Cold War
since
going on,
JP2.
an underground Cold War going on between the Epstonians and the Catholic Church. Easy.
Epstonians, like, they're a crazy word.
Yeah,
That's crazy
the
word.
Satanists. Yeah, yeah, it definitely gets into the realm of spiritual. Because how else are you going to handle this kind of stuff? How else are you going to look at this and say, "Oh well, let me just be an atheist," which more power to, but like come on now, like they're doing all kinds of stuff. There are images in here that I would imagine imagine even if I'm religious, I would quickly become religious in my fervor against them.
Hey, sorry,
Yeah,
guys,
no,
I
I
just came
think.
back. My there was a situation I had to deal with. What did I miss?
Oh, I love
Oh.
situations.
Yeah, it's not a good situation, but it's taken care of.
Yeah, no, I've been dealing with that recently too. Probably not the same thing you're going through, but it's been similar.
Okay.
We all have
So what did I miss? Sorry.
situations, sadly. But it's oh man, these files are just like, because I was explaining it to a friend and I couldn't like even get like I was struggling to tell him what like some of the images, because you see the image that we put on the PowerPoint with Prince Andrew, and there's images in there that are horrifying, like yeah.
It's crazy. Like people need to like look this up themselves. Like they don't necessarily need to go down the rabbit hole. That's up to you. Every individual. I'm not gonna encourage that, but it's like if you casual conversation, if you drop it, it's like the meme or the gif, Family Guy, where like Cragmire said something like outrageous, and Peter Griffin's just like, who the fuck starts a conversation like that? Because it's so outrageous. It doesn't sound real. Like, if you
Yeah.
if you were talking about this stuff like back in 2016 or even a few years ago, people would call you insane. Like you need to be like locked away in like an asylum because you just sound so crazy. Like the government and the world's panic pedophiles. But like you find this stuff and it's like it's not a ridiculous thing to believe.
Yeah, the interesting thing is like, I begin to think about like the actors that went crazy, literally went insane, and gone on the record to say literally what's coming out right now, and it makes you wonder like the reason why they went insane was because they took a peek behind the curtain, and it was evil, like, and I don't know. Like now, kind of we have that moment in which like when these came out, like I couldn't even watch the Super Bowl. Like it feels like a circus now. Like everything else feels like a circus, and we're getting fed a bunch of bread.
Oh
The
yeah,
bread
bread
is
and
stale, and the
circuses,
circuses are boring.
Yep.
but people are still addicted to them. And
Hey,
until
listen,
people
I
want
watched
to
the
live.
Bowl. It was a crime. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
It
I
was a
couldn't even
game.
get
I
through
watched
it
it.
because
Yeah, no.
I was
Yeah,
talking to
no.
my
I got through like the first quarter and called
I
it quits.
went
Seahawks were gonna win.
I went to a Super Bowl party put on by my pastor, and they watched the Turning Point USA halftime show, and I
That's
didn't think
rough,
it was
buddy.
any. I didn't think
That's
it
rough,
was.
buddy.
I didn't even think it was any better than the regular one.
Again, bread stale,
the
circus
duality
boring, day ends in
the
Y,
duality of
skies blue, whatever.
yeah the duality of our modern system. You have a flamboyant singer singing in I think another language, and then you turn and there's just some guy on a guitar badly singing. It's
You see,
just
I don't see the problem with Bad Bunny. I don't see the American. He speaks Spanish. His song in Spanish.
well,
Whatever.
hey, I mean, say
Like,
what you will about him. I don't think he's in the files.
Yeah,
like
no.
during the
You know.
like during the Turning Point USA halftime show, I was promised Kid Rock. He came out barely lip singing one of his most famous songs, and then they sang like this weird melodramatic country song, and everyone acted like it was so profound because he included a verse at the end of it that's talking about how you need to pick up the Bible and find Jesus. I'm like,
I hate that stuff so much. Is that if you
I
mention the
hate
and
that
Bible
so
and
much.
everyone,
mention
It's so
Jesus,
and of course,
everyone,
performative.
yeah.
it's like put on by my pastor, so of course everyone in there is deeply Christian, and I'm not saying I'm not deeply Christian, but everyone's just like, oh, it's so profound, it's so great, and my girlfriend started crying, so I'm comforting her. It's like, it's so beautiful, and I'm sitting here like, damn, I got blue balled out of not actually getting Kid Rock. I get this melodramatic BS instead.
Like
Yep,
it's this. Like
there
honestly,
you
I'm gonna
have
say
it.
it.
I
It's the
mean,
same thing with like the left when they say, oh, and they mention like the identity groups, like being gay or being this race. It's the same thing on the
And
right when it's like when you mention the Bible or Jesus, you automatically get a bunch of people clapping and saying, "Oh my God, so true, so true," and it's like you're both as stupid as each other. You're just stupid
I
about different.
actually
Yeah,
got
I
I
mean,
actually got into
Whoa.
an argument with a coworker about this
I
at work
I
the other day.
try explaining this to all my friends at church so much,
it's all
and I
performative.
don't know if it
It's all
sets in
performative.
all the way. They respect my opinion, but I don't think they understand quite what I'm saying when I opinion. It and that is I don't care how much you mention God in the music. If the music is not good, I'm not going to listen to it.
Well, it's just virtue
And
signaling.
Like
Yeah,
the
no, I
I've
actually
oh,
even
got
oh,
into
noticed
an
oh,
that.
argument.
I mean,
oh wait,
It's like
one at a time, guys.
I
I
hate
got into
modern worship music because it insists on itself and it insists just because it talks about God and Jesus that makes it worth listening to. No.
remember, guys, not everybody that says "Lord, Lord" will enter the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, no, I got into an argument with a coworker about this. To be fair, I was kind of rage baiting a little bit, but the crux of my argument was, yeah, no, the reason we have all the pride that we do is because people decided they had the right to read the Bible. Like, yeah, no, granted, that is a little rage bait, but it is
And
correct
I'm
in a
not even
sense.
All right,
saying
Constantine
that from the
William. Hi.
perspective of I think these people are having performative faith. Like, I'm not even
Yeah.
talking about their faith being performative. They found Jesus. That's great. I'm just saying, I'm not going to a musician to hear about God. That's why I have my
I'm
pastor.
going to a musician to hear about music. Yeah,
Yes,
I
Yeah.
if
want to
your
listen to some
music
good
is,
tunes. That's why I'm listening to
and
music.
if your music is trash, care if it's good and godly, I'm not listening to it. I'd rather
Yeah, if I
listen
don't
to
like your
something
music, I'm
that
not listening to it. I don't care what
And
it is.
besides, like most
He could
country
be by
music
he could
now,
be by one of my favorite bands.
like
Not listen to it.
I'm
Flat.
actually studying this now. Like country music is now like basically sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Like that's what it is. And like and then afterwards they say, "I found Jesus," and every laughs. I'm like, okay, bro, I just spent this entire song. It's the same thing. People that criticize rap, like they criticize rap, like promoting all of this violence and that kind of stuff. It's the same thing. You can't like say, "Oh, but I found Jesus." You know, it's all just go back to
Yeah,
Gregorian
no, it's
chant.
all
And
insanely
that'd be
performative.
Parthenay.
It's
You
it's just
know.
performative.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Anyway,
in
I think it's
Spanglish.
about time we wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Really quick, just 'cause I feel I want to say this. I believe in Spengler's theory of religion. I think this peak of like, not peak, but this rise in performative like Christianity
It's the
that we're
second
seeing is just
religiosity.
like it's
Yeah.
just doubling down on the fact it will be around us because dude, I don't think a lot of these people who say, oh, I found Jesus, oh, it's like we gotta like read the Bible and stuff. I don't think a lot of these people read the Bible, or they know anything. Like they'll just maybe they listen to someone on a podcast, or they read like maybe like a like AI Google search results. And yeah, you know what? This is basic enough for me to say, to claim it. And it's like
They're
I
externally
think I
Christian.
think
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
yeah, and I'll say this too because I actually did like I was talking to a couple of my professors about this, trying to like I guess spar with them. But like I think a lot of people turning back to Christianity now, and again, not to denounce Christianity or whatever, but like I think like this new like these like this new rave of people going doing it's not because you believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ or you believe in like
Yeah.
the whether it's the Old Testament or the New Testament being right or being like guiding you. I think you're doing it out of either nation worship or ancestor worship, and you can't get out of this
Mm,
idea that like if we turn back to the old ways, if we turn back to the I guess not like the old gods like back in like Rome with the pantheon, but like the old god, the old religion that means like everything's gonna fix itself. I think that's why they're
yeah.
doing it. They're not doing it because they genuinely believe in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's
I
all I have
mean,
to say
like
on that.
people are romanticizing like the. Anyways, speaking of prayer, do we have a prayer? Closing prayer? Saw
I
that.
do have a slide. Give me a second. Go ahead.
Okay.
Alright. Please bow your head. Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Heavenly Father, we pray for our country and for our world. Help us to purge the sinful and evil ways from our world. Help us to purify our nations, our governments, our cultures, our societies. And help us to find our way back to you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you all for Monarchist Minute. We hope to see you again, same time, same place. If you're watching, hit like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Substack, whatever, hit whatever that button is. I'll keep you updated every time a new episode drops. Follow us on social media. If you want to help out the cause, join us on Discord or get a hold of us via email or direct message. Until next time, may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.